All right, thanks, hey, everybody. I know that we're the only thing standing between you and the bar, so I promise we'll be brief if we can have your full attention for just a few minutes. Again, my name is 𝗞𝗲𝘆 with Lafon & Associates business consulting firm. I wanted to bring my very good longtime friend and client, 𝗤𝗏𝗍 Chen, here because 𝗤𝗏𝗍 runs one of the very most successful or more successful mobility companies in the United States. She also operates in Dubai and Hong Kong, so she's been a global force in this space for a long time. She's done a great job of evolving and developing her own unique value proposition. So I think she's got a lot to offer. I'm so subtle. I'll just talk over everybody if that's what I have to do. I'm not shy. I'm too old to care. So anyway, I wanted to see if we could talk with her for a few minutes and allow her to share some of her experiences that could add some value and help some of you folks out. So with that, no further said, 𝗤𝗏𝗍, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Bob, for the generous introduction. Hello, everybody. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Thanks for staying and listening to us. I promise this is going to be good. Okay?
All right, you just elevated the bar, so now you got to raise up to that.
Okay,
all right.
I will be.
And you're the only thing standing between them and the bar.
I know.
Speaking of the bar.
But after this, you can drink more.
Hopefully you don't need to. Anyway, we wanted to talk a little bit about market conditions right now because the business has changed. It's not the same business it used to be. It's gotten a lot more complicated, and with those complications, there's needs to adapt to change the circumstances. Talk to us a little bit about how you've addressed those changes and what you've done in light of those changes in the market conditions.
Well, let's face the market reality first. To be honest, this market is harder than ever. So when I started in 2012, it was much easier and simpler. The good times are gone. Look at everybody's face in this room. We all look a bit tense and serious, isn't it? So let's face the reality. Margins are tighter. Competition is more sophisticated, and the market and the mistakes are more expensive than ever. A few years ago, you can survive by moving volume. But today, the same approach can put you out of the business. So the real question is not about growth. It's about how you can evolve fast to stay relative. So the choice is compete harder or evolve smarter. We choose evolve.
Speaking of evolution, that's an important point. I touched on that earlier. From your perspective, what have you done to evolve 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to remain relevant in the marketplace and still remain a leader?
So the basic change, or the fundamental change, was shifting away from pure trading. Pure trading does not drive margin anymore. When I started in Hong Kong, we are just doing flipping phones. That was very easy. Like our capital grew like crazy. But after a few years, everybody has the same access to the same supply chain, and we are selling to the same buyers. We are competing on speed, and ultimately, we are competing on price. That's not a very strong position anymore. So when we started our operation in the USA in 2016, we brought in the full service of processing and repairing. We focused on building a value-added operation with a focus on automation and continual process improvement. For example, we relied on manual testing as long as we could because our technicians are faster than any software in the market until we found Dr. Fong. Ali, are you here?
Ali? There he is.
Okay. So with Dr. Fong, our single output increased from 800 units per technician per day to 1,000. This implementation not only improved the output with accuracy and consistency, it also solved our internet issue with busy Wi-Fi because Dr. Fong can test without Wi-Fi. So ask him, how did he do it? So automation directly impacts margin and scalability. Second, we also made a change to how we sell to customers and who we sell to. instead of competing in the saturated, mature market, we expanded to emerging markets where demanding is increasing and also the competition is less intense. At the same time, we build our e-commerce capability to diversify our sales channel. So the result is very exciting. You want to hear this. I'll increase our margin by 30% and our profitability doubled.
That's outstanding. So those kind of value-added operations and that evolution of the business increased your sales by your profit margins by 30%?
Yes.
And
no, profitability by 100%.
Oh, profitability by 100%.
By units, 30%.
Wow, those are strong numbers, and you don't see that often in this day and age. So, that's an important point, and I'd encourage you to talk to Elizabeth more afterwards and get some additional feedback from her, because you don't hear that a lot in this day and age. It's a really valuable point. All right, let's talk about that value add versus volume, because you touched on that before. There are a lot of people that think they can grow their way out of this problem. There's more demand than supply, their margins have shrunk, so they just need more volume to offset the margin loss. That really doesn't work. So how have you addressed that?
Yeah, success doesn't come overnight. So I'm talking so confidently here, but we struggled as well. So everybody, like you said, has to diversify themselves, right? So if it's not working for you, you got to change. If you are not changed, you're going to be out. So after so many rounds of product refresh, today's devices are much more sophisticated. Because of that, the game has changed. The volume is no longer the key to success. So instead of chasing volume, we shifted to add value. In our experience, nowadays, 8 out of 10 phones need some kind of work, either data wiping, testing, cleaning, unlocking, or repairing. You have to do something.
Or buff and grade like my head, buff and polish?
That's right. But not everybody can build a full cycle of service for the mobile devices, because not everybody has the repair capability or expertise of technology or 5 to 10 million of capital to tie up in inventory in transit or work in progress. So small customers, they don't have the capacity or infrastructure to do that. 𝗏𝗀𝗋, by providing fully functional and ready-to-use phones to smaller wholesalers and retailers or e-commerce in every corner of the globe, we just evolved from pure trading chase volume to a problem solver and a value-added players. So our customer can focus on what they do the best, which is sell to the customers in their region. And this is a real shift from moving inventory to provide solutions.
Well, it's interesting because when I met Elizabeth years ago and I saw her facility, it's night and day today versus what it looked like whenever I first saw it several years ago. I was just down there over the holidays and had a chance to see it. I was genuinely impressed with what she'd done to really grow the business, diversify it, and evolve it. But one of those areas is partnerships. Because as I said before, iTat has this problem, but so does mobile, where there's this obsession with, we have to bring everything in-house, we have to do everything ourselves, we can't outsource, we can't partner. And folks, I'm going to tell you without argument, that's a mistake, all right? That obsession will kill you. You can't be great at everything. So recognizing that, she's become a partner with some organizations that are adding value, adding new revenue lanes for her, and helping her diversify her revenue streams. So tell us a little bit more about what some of those partnerships look like.
I think the biggest shift now is, in our industry, is we are moving from transaction-driven system to an ecosystem-driven market. In the past, success was about how many deals you can close a day, or what are the premium products or access you have to the vendors. But today, the business is much more interconnected. And in the ecosystem like this, the volume is defined by what role you play in this ecosystem and how relevant you are to other players in this ecosystem. So I want to talk about the first is the relationship with with our upstream vendors. So over the times, our relationship has evolved with our vendors. We no longer just a buyer or just moving the inventory for our upstream vendors. We become as strategic partners. We give them market intelligence. We give them price intelligence. We also connect them with their customers. If they no longer want to manage the small customers, we do it for them. So we became the authorized reseller for Assurant. I think a lot of people in this room know Assurant as one of the largest insurance companies in the USA. Nowadays, they don't want to take any more small customers. So if you sign up with us, you can buy the inventory through our online portal 24/7. I'm not done, sorry.
No, that's all right.
So the second, you want to add something?
No, please, go ahead.
Okay. The second I would say is our relationship with our peers. Our peers are not just our competitors. They are our friends, right? So in this tough business, we need bonded together to be a stronger community. So this is why we helped form the Hong Kong 𝗥𝗲𝗰cie chamber. Sally is here. So if you haven't visited Sally on the second floor at C2, please stop by. So 𝗥𝗲𝗰cie chamber is the organization we are building in Hong Kong with 250 members to help to better align the buyers, to be a stronger voice, and to help each other to survive this tough market. The third one I will say I feel more personally related to is the partnership with our buyers. I feel responsible for them because I know how tough this market can be and how difficult to enter this business now. 12 years ago was so much easier. Now you require so much to get into this market. But our customers need phones, right? In every corner, like in South America, I visited South America, also South Africa last year, this year. I feel like they need phones, but the small vendors, they don't have the capability to provide a full service. And I feel like I have the responsibility to develop them, help them to grow. So lastly, but not least, is the relationship with our partners in the service industry, like Ali, our software providers, our logistic providers, also the payment providers. They're all part of this ecosystem. If we have a better, stronger operating system, everybody benefits from it. So ultimately, I think I'm done with the fourth. Okay, you can go on.
I think that's a strong point. And one point I'd like to end on before we take any questions is the idea of not looking at your peers as competitors saying, we hate them, we go to war with them every day, I don't want to work with them, but instead looking and saying, is there an opportunity to cooperate with them, to collaborate? Because they may have unique knowledge and information or relationships you don't. So why not sit down with them, explore that, and see if you can actually develop some mutually beneficial relationships like Elizabeth has done. She knows a lot of people in her space, but she works with them more than she works against them. And there's enough room for all of us to succeed out there if we do things the right way. So I really applaud her for taking that initiative. And instead of looking at them as the hated competition we have to destroy, she's working hard to find ways to work with them. And the end result is she's getting a warm reception from people in the space that used to look at her as a competitor. Now they love her, now they enjoy working with her. So just a quick admonition. But any questions for Elizabeth about anything she talked about that might be interesting to you in terms of how you can evolve your business, grow your business, and deal with the changes in the industry?
But before we open for questions, I just want to add a few more, echo to what Bob just said. If you are adding value and providing solutions in the ecosystem, you will always have a space. If you are not, the ecosystem will move around you. So I want to give everybody some tips to bring home. I'll keep it simple so that We're going to go to the bar after this. First, value-added operation drive margin. If you are not adding value, you are replaceable. Second, focus on value, not volume. If the more problem you solve for your customers, the more valuable you are. Third, build a partnership, not transactions. Your role in the ecosystem is defined by the value you bring. In today's secondary market, we don't win by do more. We win by doing the better, smarter, and together.
Very good. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, everybody.
Any,
Thank you, Bob.
my pleasure. Any questions for Elizabeth? All right, off to the bar.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh!